Hey people, what's up? It's Tanya. Thank you for watching Books, Incense, and Brown Liquor. This video is my book review for Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. Okay, I had so many issues with this book. This book had me on edge. Sometimes I loved it, sometimes I hated it. So, before I start to read a book, I always go online, like on Goodreads or Amazon, and I look at other people's reviews. What I found really strange about this book was I saw 5-star ratings and I saw 1-star ratings. And honestly, I understand both. I understand the 5-star part and I understand the 1-star. And the book wasn't bad, but there were things I loved about the book. There were things I couldn't stand about the book. Okay. So let's talk about the things that I really, really liked. I really enjoy her writing style. How the book opens up, it opens up with the present, and how the chapters go back and forth between the present and the past, the present and the past. So the book opens up with the present. They're hosting a dinner party and everything is going so wonderful. Like, people just can't understand how this woman she's so perfect. Everything is so wonderful. Their home is perfect. Like, it's just so perfect. You can feel the climate is like something is off. It's just too perfect. It's weird. It's like so weird that you're like feeling uncomfortable by page 3. You're like, nah, something ain't right. So then it goes to the past, like how they first met, how her and her husband fell in love. So let me back up. This is the story of a woman named Grace. She's the wife. And she falls in love with Mr. Wonderful, also known as Jack. He's a lawyer, he's handsome, he looks like George Clooney, he has a lot of money, he's never lost a case, he's just so fucking perfect, right? So, she thinks she's the luckiest woman in the world. They marry very quickly after a very short, like, whirlwind romance. He sweeps her off her feet, which is your first clue, because I heard someone say when a man sweeps you off your feet, you're no longer grounded. Hence. So, I thought her character was nice. She was a nice woman. There was nothing to really dislike about her. She was very kind, and it goes really in depth about her character, her family, her parents, her sister who has Down syndrome. She has the job she loves, and one day they're in the park and Mr. Wonderful just comes in, and from there, her life is just caught up in, Jack's world. He's just so wonderful. So yeah, I like the story. I like the pacing of it. I like how her writing kind of like, you can't wait to see like what's going to happen next. So very shortly after getting married, it's very clear that like he's a monster, but no one else knows but her. She has no way. Oh, shoot. Okay, I think I'm all right. She has no way of like really getting help. She's kind of isolated because he purposely keeps her isolated. So let's talk about what I don't like. What I don't like is Jack. Not because he's the villain, because I love a good villain. Any good book, especially a thriller, needs a good villain. I just think he's a whack-ass villain, because he has no rhyme or reason for why he does what he does, why he chose her, why he treats her the way he does. There's just no, and even there's a part in the book where she's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And he's just like, I enjoy like watching you be afraid. Like it's a fucking hobby or some shit, like, I'm a Virgo. I like long walks on the beach, and on Tuesdays after work, I torture my wife. Like, that's just not enough for me. I felt like Jack's character lacked character development. He lacked depth. I love a story with a good villain. I just thought he was a whack-ass villain. He had no reason for why he did what he did. He just enjoyed fucking with Grace. What? That's not a good enough reason for me. That doesn't cut it. So, like, one of my favorite villains is a throwback to 1987. There was a movie called Fatal Attraction, starring Glenn Close and Michael Douglas. And basically, he's a married man with a wife and a kid, and he has an affair Basically, it's like a one night stand with this woman. She's wonderful. She's beautiful. She's fun. They sleep together maybe once or twice. Then he comes to his senses and he's like, yo, my bad. I can't do this. Gotta go back to my wife. And she's like, bitch, please. You thought she was just gonna walk away? She makes his life a living hell. She stalks him, breaks in his house, does all types of crazy shit. And my favorite line is when he's like, why are you doing this? You need to stop. And my favorite line is when she says, I'm not going to be ignored, Tom. Bitch says it with a smile on her face like everything is all good. So anyway, the point that I am making is she does not stop until she makes it very clear. I'm not going to stop. I won't stop. I love you. We're going to be what we're going to be. I ain't going nowhere. So, I mean, it's a movie from 1987. So basically, they have to put a stop to it by killing this bitch because she just crosses the line. The point of the story is that's a fucking villain. That's a villain. Not some rich dude with money and I just torture my wife because I can. That ain't good enough. I'm sorry. So other than that, the book wasn't bad. It was really well paced and it kept me like really enthralled from beginning to end. Another thing that irritated me about the book is she sought help. Well, hold up. He kept her really isolated, so she really couldn't get away. But when she did, when she was out in public and she tried to get away, people were like, yeah, your husband told us you were crazy. She actually runs to a police officer, help me. And he's like, your husband told us you were mentally ill, so I'm so sorry you have to deal with this. Like, okay, that pissed me off because if a woman is screaming and crying and hysterical, she's got to be mentally ill because her husband said so. No one thought, damn, maybe I should look into this. So that pissed me off. Like, you just write her off as being crazy because her husband said she was crazy. So therefore, it's got to be true. Fuck that. This is not a rant video, so I'm going to fall back. Anyway. Behind Closed Doors. I did enjoy it. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend it. I give it a 3.5 out of 5 because Jack was a whack-ass villain. Other than that, excuse the cat. Other than that, yes. Anyway, yes, I would recommend it. So, thank you for watching, and I wish you good reading. Adieu.